Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in to Snow Watch. So we've done 2 videos so far today. It's All Seasons Day at Gasworth because we started off with the spring forecast. We've had a sneak peek at the summer as well. And for this third and final update at Gasworth is we're going back to winter, and we're going to have a look at the risk of some snow over the coming few days. I think it's going to be mainly in the north. It's going to be quite marginal again, as we've been seeing over the past few weeks. Been getting these colder shocks coming through and producing sort of marginal snow events, and most of us have actually stayed on the rain side of the divide between rain and snow. So we'll have a look at the detail on that in a second. Before I get on with that, though, just to say about the ads. So there's links to articles on all pages. Gasworth have various widgets, click through links if there's any articles you're interested in. Thanks so much for doing that. There's also video ads on most pages, showing out with content you want to make back up again, and it's helping to pay for our website. So we're going to start off with GFS model for Tuesday. An area of low pressure coming in off the Atlantic, bringing quite an active weather front across the country, bring outbreaks of heavy rain to many places on Tuesday. And as we run through into Wednesday, we get our first push of colder air from the north. This low pressure moves off to the east. It'll open the door on Wednesday to a much colder northerly wind. That could bring some wintry conditions into the north and the northwest on Wednesday. I don't think there'll be too much down in the south and southeast. But you see, Wednesday into Thursday, it's midnight Thursday, we are opening the door to proper northerly wind there, so it will be turning a lot colder through the middle part of the week. However, we'll get a ridge of high pressure building in on Thursday ahead of this next area of low pressure. And then that low pressure pushes in Thursday into Friday, bringing outbreaks of rain. As it hits the cold air, it could turn to snow in the north. And then this area of low pressure sort of pushes away to the south and the southeast as we go from Friday into Saturday, opening the door again to northerly winds, and another shot of cold air comes down from the north over the weekend, particularly Friday into Saturday. If there's precipitation left around, then that could be our greatest chance of getting some snow. Not guaranteeing snow at all down in the south, but if there's precipitation around, Friday into Saturday could be the greatest chance of snow for parts of the country away from the north and the west. We stay cold all next weekend, this northerly wind, but we do build a little bit of a ridge in from the Atlantic. And then as we go through into the next week, this is Monday the 7th, so a week tomorrow, we start to re-establish a milder westerly flow. That's the GFS. This is the GEM, the Canadian model. I can't show the ECMWF because it doesn't update until another hour or so, unfortunately. So this is the GEM, anyway, the Canadian. Again, we've got this colder push coming down from the north as we're going into Wednesday. So this brings our first cold shot into the north, particularly on Wednesday. Then build a little bit of a transient ridge on Thursday. So Thursday quiet today ahead of this next area of low pressure in the Atlantic, and then that pushes through as we go through into Friday. That bringing a band of heavy rain across the country, and in the north as it comes into that colder air, it might give some snow as well. But it's really as this low pressure clears out of the way Friday into Saturday that we open the door again to another colder push from the north, and the low pressure staying quite close to us as well, so there could be precipitation here with this colder air pushing out. So I do think Friday to Saturday could be our greatest chance. It's not a guarantee by any means, especially in the south, but it could be our greatest chance of getting some snow Friday into Saturday. And actually the GEM keeps it quite cold then for the foreseeable future. So this takes us into Sunday, still in a proper northerly wind there. If you follow the isobars back, the air's originating from somewhere to the north of Scandinavia. And we keep that northerly wind going into Monday the 7th. So this is when the GFS is starting to return milder air back from the Atlantic, but the GEM keeps us firmly in a northerly flow right through that into the middle part of that week. Takes us up to Wednesday the 9th of March, when finally the high pressure beginning to topple, but even then it still is generally quite calm. Right, let's have a look at the snow risk with all of these charts then. So we're going to have a look at the weatheroutlook.com. This is a precipitation type, rain or snow map. Now, if you want to link to Weather Outlook on the links page. We're starting on Tuesday, and it's a proper wet day across England and Wales through Tuesday. And as we run through the day, that rain just hangs on in the south and southeast through much of the day. So in the far south southeast, it's not going to clear until probably it gets dark. Elsewhere, though, it does clear and it turns a bit colder with blustery showers coming into the north and west, and those already starting to turn wintry across northern and western Scotland by 3 o'clock in the afternoon on Tuesday. That rain finally clears away overnight or on Tuesday evening into early hours of Wednesday morning, and then bringing these wintry showers into north and west. There's a distinct band here moving south across England and Wales. I think that's just rain. It's behind that the colder air is digging in, so the shower turning readily to snow in the early hours of Wednesday across Scotland, Northern Ireland, Northern England, possibly coming down into Wales as well. So in the north and the west, on Wednesday, we have the risk of snow showers. Those are pushing southwards and eastwards through into 6 o'clock in the morning on Wednesday. I don't think it'll amount to much in the south, but it's really going to be, I think, for the north, Northern England, Northern Ireland, Scotland, possibly Northern Wales as well, but we have the risk of snow on Wednesday. Elsewhere, generally rain. But you notice, this is a big day Wednesday, you notice even in the north some of this has turned back towards rain. So even in the north it is quite a marginal scenario on Wednesday. Showers along the spells of rain with wintry falls in the north and over high ground then basically sums it up for Wednesday. As going to Wednesday evening, things calm down. It will probably turn frosty with a frosty start to Thursday. And then Thursday sees a dry morning, but outbreaks of rain moving in from the west through the day. So that hits the colder air, it begins to turn to snow across Scotland, but elsewhere it is just rain moving in from the west. And then as that low pressure, remember the low pressure through Friday is starting to move off to the east, opening the door to colder air from the north again. So this is the early hours of Friday, 3 o'clock in the morning, when we've got snow beginning to come back into Northern Ireland and northern and western parts of Scotland. And then through Friday morning itself, this is 9 o'clock in the morning, we find snow showers moving down across many parts of the country. This is even bringing a risk of some snow into the southeast at 9 o'clock on Friday morning. Don't take that too literally. It's a very marginal touch and go situation. May not come off, but it does suggest that we're going through Friday, it's turning colder. There is a risk of snow, perhaps almost anywhere, and even down in the south could see a little bit of snow on Friday. But it'll always be more likely in the north and the west. This takes us up to 9 o'clock in the evening on Friday with wintry showers really draped around the coast. A lot of dry weather inland, I would have thought. But again, see, there is wintry potential even coming down into the southwest and some central southern parts of England on Friday. So just wintry showers probably, nothing overly dramatic, but there could be some snow around, I think, at the end of the week. And then going to the weekend, this takes us into Saturday, and I think this could be our greatest risk of snow, possibly across the country, away from the north and west anyway, Friday into Saturday. This is just in quite a lot of heavy snow here across northern England, actually, and maybe coming down into Wales as well through the course of Saturday morning. But again, in the south, it's very marginal, suggesting a risk of rain, sleet or snow across parts of England and Wales on Saturday. Now, then we go into Saturday evening, it all clears away and probably turns frosty once again. Bearing in mind at this point it's building a ridge of high pressure over the country, but just remember that the GEM keeps us in that northerly flow, which would keep it even colder with a risk of further wintry showers in the north and the east throughout next weekend and going on into the following week. So it's another one of these situations that we've had for the past 2 or 3 weeks, really. It's generally quite cool, a little bit colder than average, but for snow, the soundings are all very marginal here. I think you'll get some snow on Wednesday and then again Friday and Saturday in the north. I wouldn't think it'll be too much of a problem. See some snow for Scotland, probably for Northern Ireland, maybe for Northern England and North Wales. Further south and east of that, so really through the Midland and central southern parts of England into East Anglia and the southeast. Again, it's just so marginal. There could be some snow around, but perhaps more likely to be rain or a wintry mix. Either way, no real sign that it's going to be anything all that significant at this stage. But we need to keep an eye on it. The GFS is probably on the milder side of things, really. If the GEM was to come off, then it would be colder, and that would maybe push even southern parts of the country into onto the snow side of marginal as opposed to the rain side of marginal. So we'll keep an eye on it. I'll keep you updated. But that's how it's looking this evening. The greatest risk of snow from the middle of the week onwards in the north and the west. Right, that's all for now. Don't forget to go and check out the spring forecast and also the summer sneak peek. That's all for now. Thanks for watching.